What's up, guys? Welcome to the Kinda Funny Gamescast for E3 2018. This is the wrap-up show of everything that we played today. Today's our appointment day.
Yeah,
we came in late on Tuesday.
Right.
Tomorrow and Thursday, we're hosting the GameSpot show all day. That's going to be fun. You can watch that on twitch.tv/Kinda Funny Games. But today, all day, all of us, all of Kinda Funny, including Joey, including Cool Greg, we all had appointments playing games at E3. We all had a very good time. There wasn't a single game I played that I didn't like. I'll tell you that much.
Okay.
But Greg, I want to know what you played.
I wasn't prepared for this question.
You weren't prepared for this question?
Do you want to
start with
me?
Nick Scarpino, Andy Cortez, Greg Miller, surrounding us is many of our other friends. Superman.
Lex Luthor, guys.
Super Greg.
Lex Luthor.
Well, I couldn't see him behind. I see a red cape and a bald guy.
Yeah, well, that should be tipped off.
Maybe his hair fell off. He's a Lego man.
They CGI the hair off.
Everybody, hymns. I'll run you through just the titles of what I played.
Guys. Shh. I thought it worked for a second.
We invited these GameSpot people to our battle rig, and this is how they're treated.
Our battle rig.
We let them call it the GameSpot Battle Rig.
We let them call it that.
We're on the top of a truck.
Yeah.
Not on the street. None of this
LA
makes
Live.
sense. What did you play, Greg?
Ghost of... Well, I'm going to say what I saw, and I'll tell you then later on what I played. Saw Ghost of Tsushima. Played Lego DC Supervillains. That's where Lex Luthor came from. Saw Control, the new game from Remedy. Played Smash. Played Overcooked. Played The Division 2. Played Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What a jam-packed schedule,
I got around today, guys. They called me the slut of E3.
Oh my God.
No one's calling
These were games.
Yeah, you're sucking the
games.
games down.
Andy, what did you play and see? Let's go around, then we can get into deep dives.
I saw Cyberpunk 2077. And I got to play Rage 2, Spider-Man, a little bit of Spider-Man, not a whole lot, but enough. A huge game, Elder Scrolls Blades. Get it on iOS now. I don't know if it's out.
Did they trick you? Did they trick you?
Well, they were like, hey, while you're waiting for Rage 2, play.
Okay.
Yeah.
The old bait and switch.
That's what it was, yeah.
I've seen it once, I've seen it twice.
Yeah, and then a little while ago, I got to play Anthem.
Oh, did you sing Good Charlotte while you played it?
I did, yeah. I asked if I could get the track.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Yeah. How about you, Tim?
I got to start my morning off right. I got to play Spyro Reignited Trilogy. I got to play the new DLC for Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy.
Okay.
The first new Crash Bandicoot level in Crash 1 to 3 in over 20 years.
Okay.
That felt good.
I want to know how it is, but I'll save it for when we're talking about stuff.
Yeah. I got to see a demo of Dying Light 2.
Okay.
Very interesting stuff there. What'd I do after that? We did Spider-Man. I got to play Spider-Man. That was super freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Then I got to do Smash Brothers with you guys. Loved that. And then ended my day with Resident Evil 2 Remake.
Good for you.
Oh,
Nick,
we all played Smash. I forgot to say that. Sorry about that.
Yeah. I started my morning with Andy in a lovely little meeting we like to call Cyberpunk 2077. And it was really cool. Enjoyed that. Played a little Hitman 2. Enjoyed that. If you like Hitman. You're gonna like this
Hitman,
one.
Right?
What's that?
You like Hitman?
Oh yeah. Oh no, it's great. It's more the same.
Sure.
Same. And then rounded out the day by playing Spider-Man and then Smash Bros.
Yes,
so
you did.
it was a good day for me as well. A lot of games that I'm very interested in, including Cyberpunk. Didn't think I was gonna like Cyberpunk, but you know what? I gotta say,
it's really
turning me on.
Cool Greg got to play Concrete Genie. We'll probably have him come on later to talk a little bit about that. And then Joey, what did you play? And I'll read it back to them.
I gotta look at my calendar.
She played Tomb Raider.
She played Shadow the Tomb Raider.
The Captain, whatever.
Underpants and the Traveling Willows.
The amazing guy from Life is Strange 2.
Super Steve and his scuba friend.
There you go.
Yeah.
Lego DC.
Lego DC.
Smash Brothers.
Super Smash Bros.
For the first
Overcooked
time,
2?
Joey has never played a Super Smash Bros. Game in her entire
I had
life.
to literally put the controller in her hand. I was like, it's not gonna bite you. It's just a freaking pro
But
controller.
then you did the thing where you made it look like it bitter. It was funny.
Yeah, I know. I had a good time.
It made us all giggle, yeah.
Anything else with that say?
My last one got canceled.
Last appointment got canceled.
Oh.
What happened with that? I guess you should probably tell me off the air.
They didn't see your confirmation, so they left.
Oh, great. Okay.
Figure it out. Greg, where do you want to start in terms of like deeper dives? And also, by the way, reaction videos of most of these are up on youtube.com/kindafunnygames or will be up throughout this day.
Okay. Where do I want to start? I don't know. What from my smorgasbord sounded good to you guys.
What
huh?
about Assassin's Creed?
What about Assassin's Creed? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I know what you're
No,
saying.
it was totally awesome. It's an hour-long demo.
I just imagine like cutting to you. You're just like drunk, like passed out in the meeting room.
No, they were
Like,
nice.
how do we get him out of
Ubisoft
here?
was lucky enough, or nice enough, I should say, to let me in and get in there because I didn't have the appointment, but I wanted to see it real bad. It's a great demo. It starts off with like you pick if you want to be the guy or the girl, and then you just jump in and you are left with one of the islands to explore out there of Greece and stuff. Immediately, it was speaking to me in terms of what I wanted from that. When we saw the demo on the Ubisoft stage, and I was like, oh shit, this actually sounds like it might be up my alley. Playing it confirmed all that. It is the controls of Origin, which I already did like, even though the game didn't really click with me for some reason. But then, I'm her. There's a whole bunch of funny stuff of her puking when she gets off the boat, and some funny ha-has from the Assassin's Creed universe. Mm-hmm. And the first thing I did is open world, so just do whatever you want to do. I was like, oh, I opened the map. I want to go to the synchronization point. Started running to it, climbed up a wall, hopped over that wall, and jumped down into like a bazaar, and they were selling like flowers and stuff. And I landed and immediately spin the camera, and I'm like, it's so colorful. This is like, there was just something about Origin's palette. Yeah, Origin's palette that didn't speak to me. I didn't want to hang out in that world. And this one you drop and like it's beautiful greens and reds and colors, and she's in this gold armor, so there's all this gold. And then I spin it around and it's blue Greek, the language of Greek written. What do you call that? Written into the stone and stuff. Just all that, and it was just like, man, this is such a beautiful game already in terms of color. And so then it was off and run. I just was off and ran and murdered some dudes, climbed some stuff. It was what I wanted out of that experience. Her dialogue's great. For the mission I was doing, or side mission, it was like to locate these enemy camps. Located those enemy camps and then ran into one, and it turned out it was like the rebels camp. And
Nothing like taking down a camp.
They wasn't even that. They were drunk down there when I got there, so they started challenging me, and I'm talking to them or whatever, confirming the situation while I'm there. And we went off on a mission and fought like a bunch of Spartans, I guess, or whatever it was. And no, that's not right. The bad guys, the non-Spartans. And it was fun combat, and it was cool, and that Spartan kick everybody's talking about is great, and the ability to throw the shield away from them is great, and I can't wait to play more of that
when
game.
you throw the shield, it just kind of like
keeps on going.
just
It does fly,
yeah.
Team Rocket style.
No, Assassin's Creed was great.
When you open up the map, was it like overwhelming at all? Did you?
No,
did
but this
all
is
that
like,
shit pop up?
I'm not a Greek historian, believe it or not. It was
okay.
very much when we got there, the one guy's like, and I think he might have said it in the demo on the stage too, but I'm just like, oh, we're on this island, the exact mirror of that island, two sides of the same coin. And like, there's two little islands I was starting on. So I'm not sure if that was just a side thing, if that's how the game will open or how it's going to go.
The islands are called Popo and Nana.
I don't believe
Speaking
that's-
of Popo and Nana,
I don't believe that's correct,
Super
Andy.
Smash Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
We got to play. They're back. Ice Climber's back. We got to play as the Inkling. Inkling. What are they called?
Inkling.
Inkling. Yeah. And Ridley as the new characters. There's about 30 players in the game that we can choose from. A whole bunch of different maps and stuff. Unfortunately, we didn't get to play with items off or all of that.
God forbid you enjoy an item once in a while, you know?
I mean, I'm down, and we did, but like,
Greg, there's
we
a
played for
right
30
way and a
minutes.
wrong way to do things, okay? And that is, I'm not gonna say it's the wrong way, but it's definitely the wrong way.
Okay.
You understand me?
Sure.
We had to play Smash Brothers in a non-ideal situation. We couldn't turn on stock, we couldn't turn off items or
Yeah.
hazards, and
We didn't have GameCube
we had to play
controllers.
with Pro controllers.
Man, I'll tell you, what a mind fuck that was.
Yeah, I know.
I was falling to my death left and right. I'm
Every
like, how
time.
the fuck do I God.
Yeah, see, I was
muscle
fine
memory's gone.
because I had trained on back in the day before Brawl came out. I imported the Japanese version. There was a tournament in Brawl in America before the game came out, and I'm like, y'all motherfuckers are screwed. I got my secret weapon Ike. Y'all don't even know how he plays, but we had to play with classic controllers, so I bought one. So I got that muscle memory.
Okay,
You're
I
fucking
did not.
cheater.
That's why I won like every match.
Yeah.
Also, you're good at Smash.
Like every match is what I
Fucking
said.
cheater,
I was playing
dude.
around with a bunch of different players. It's the most different characters I'm familiar with have felt in Smash Bros. So far.
Okay.
Like, this is the biggest jump in terms of very familiar characters having new interesting moves or quirks about them since the jump from 64 to Melee. And that
Okay.
introduced special moves. So like, it's pretty cool. Like, and there's so many little gameplay changes. Like the charge smash. You can hold it for like almost twice as long as we've ever been able to
It
before.
feels almost like 3 times.
And it fundamentally changes like the strategy and the timing of a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And there's just little changes. Like Link doesn't have his hook shot anymore, which means his throw game's totally different because instead of the distance having to be this far, it's like grabbing up close. And it's little changes like that that I think are gonna like make this feel not like Smash Bros. 4.5,
Okay.
but really feel like a true brand new Smash game.
Sure.
I don't know. Obviously, I'm so fucking in.
Yeah.
I mean,
love
we're
it.
gonna need at least 800 to 900 hours right when it comes out to really sit down and crunch
decide
those
if we
differences.
like it.
I'll tell you though, it feels right. It
How
feels
did
good.
Pit feel? That's what everybody wants to know. How
I'll
were
tell you,
the
inquiring
arrows?
minds wanna know.
How was the bitch move of sitting
The
on the side of the
arrows,
stage
everyone's
shooting arrows?
happy to know, are more like Brawl, where they go across the entire screen, and that's right. If you have command of them like I do, some would say a masterful command of them,
Jeez, it's
you can actually loop them and hit people with them. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, the longer you hold down B, the faster they go as well.
Huh.
So that's good. So
They
the
were
farther they go, the
flying
faster
out
they go.
there
They go
really quick.
fast. He feels a lot more like Brawl than he did in the last invitation, which I'm happy about because they tweaked a couple things last rounds and I didn't like it very much.
Yeah.
Solid Snake has the
Kirby
Fulton,
Snake, that.
which is really cool. Whenever you need to recover, he busts out the Fulton little flying bullshit from Phantom Pain, which is really
Yeah.
cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was fun.
It's also another
Couple
game called
changes
Peace
that
Walker,
I
but
didn't
never
like, but aren't going to really affect me in the future because we just don't play this way. But with items on, when there's assist trophies, when they pop up, whatever player you are pops up above the assist trophy, and it's the exact same P1 with red or P2 with blue or whatever
Very
it is.
confusing.
And it gets very confusing on what character you are. And in a 4-player match, I lost myself and killed myself like 10 times accidentally.
Yeah.
And what's weird about that too is now you can kill assist trophies, and that gets you a kill. So if I have an assist trophy and you killed it, you get a kill against me.
Interesting.
Fuck that noise.
Hey man, you want to cheat? That's what you're gonna get.
Yeah,
Thanks, Andy.
yeah.
What I want to know, boys, is about Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Because this is the game everyone I've run into has been like, did you see Cyberpunk? I'm like, no, Nick took my spot with Andy.
I walked in and the guy's like, "Where's Greg?" And I'm like, "I'm Greg."
Look at me.
I was like,
I'm the Greg
I'm
now.
Greg today.
I'm Greg Miller.
No, I feel bad because, and I really do want you to see this game because it was a 15-minute long gameplay
5-0.
demo,
Yeah.
5-0, and I was in the entire time. This is me.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, I am sucked in. And when you finally get out and you see Night City, it's pretty impressive.
It's called Night City.
yeah,
Fuck
it's
yeah.
dope.
So
You
tight.
What
play
are the chances we can see this?
I'll hit him up now.
Yeah,
That'd be
the
I think you guys need to see this because honestly, I feel like it's going to be your game of the show if you do.
Really?
Yeah, it's a really impressive game. I mean, if you played Witcher, which I did not, but I imagine that all of the best parts of Witcher, the open worldness, the side, I didn't play it. But from what I've heard people play, you know,
Yeah.
When I've heard people playing it, like the
yeah.
reasons that people loved Witcher, I think are here, but in a cyberpunk setting with
And in first person.
just first-person shooting mechanics that are that. I mean, I think they look really good. Of course, it's all going to depend on how they feel when it's in your hand. But some of the things they have in this game, I'm just like, wow, that's pretty dope.
The cool
Yeah.
thing is, though, that since it is a first-person shooter, but it's still an RPG, so you're not always going to be in combat. You're going to be talking to NPCs a lot. You're going to be going to shops. You're going to be getting augmented, like modifications on your body and all this cool.
Yeah,
shit.
they have this great scene where literally like to get your eyeball modified, like one of the first mods you get is a new eyeball, and you get locked in, and they like put you to sleep for a second, and then your perspective shifts to the new eyeball as they put it in your head.
Oh, that's cool.
It's fucking intense.
So
but
you
then
see your body laying there, and then it installs, and then it's essentially an optic. like,
zoom, so you can zoom in with it. It's like a binocular, basically.
Yeah.
It's the binocular tool.
Really
but yeah,
cool.
it's nice. They said, and I don't think it's a marketing tool either, that obviously like they wanted to make it first person because it was more of an immersive experience. And like roaming around that city, I can imagine it's gonna be so much fun. Just spending hours,
It's so
hours, and
tall.
hours. It's super tall.
Yeah,
it's huge.
The sort of buildings that you're in, the buildings that you live in, they seem like just giant apartments. And based on what people have said, I don't know if CD Projekt Red said this, but like how The Witcher was big because it was such a wide world.
Yeah.
This is more vertical.
I get the feeling that this is going to be pretty wide as well. Just the fact that there's cars in
agree,
it, you're
yeah.
driving around, you're having like doing
Totally.
all that stuff.
You can drive in third person, which is cool. So
Okay.
you get into the vehicle, and it starts off in first person, and they're using like the old school, like the way calculators look when with the numbers, like that's how the miles per hour is, and the whole HUD is like that hot pink that I love.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
freaking
awesome.
And you're driving or whatever, and then he was able to switch to third. I was like, oh fuck yeah, cool. We can be in third person for driving. The only downside about Cyberpunk is the acting's not great.
Yeah, the VO kind of took me out of it, and it's for the main
I don't think it's
character
horrible,
too.
I just
no,
don't-
who
you
knows?
know.
Maybe it's I don't know where it's at in the dev cycle right
you
now.
know how
but-
like when you are watching anime or a cartoon and you're listening to it, you can tell it's anime or a cartoon. You can tell it's like people sort of being animated and silly with their voices or whatever. Like that, your main partner is this guy named Jackie, and he's a Mexican dude, and he doesn't sound like a Mexican dude, but he's, hey cabrón, hey come over, you know, like it just sounds.
Are you
not,
auditioning for the part right now?
I'm going to, yeah.
Yeah, I'm totally.
Like when he said cabron, it sounded like the first time he'd ever said that word. Yeah, it took me out of it a little bit. Now, it didn't give me the vibe. We played as a female. The main character's name is V, and they picked the female, and it shows you a lot of cool customization options when you create your character.
Okay.
And you do see your character in certain cutscenes.
Okay.
But your character name is V, and it was definitely a lot less edgy than the trailer showed that I didn't like. That sort of like that. Here in this town, yeah, like. I did not like that vibe, and I didn't get that at all
You didn't get it from this?
No,
Okay.
not at all. But yeah, there's like really cool characters, and it seems like the world is really well
The design
realized.
of the world is beautiful. This is one of the things, like
fucking
it's
unbelievable.
definitely scratching an itch for me of Deus Ex. Like it really feels like that. It feels like you're gonna get mods, you're gonna get upgrades. Like the consequences, matter in this game. So the decisions you make really will, like depending on how you want to go about a mission. If you fuck someone over, then it's obviously limited. But I like the design of the world better than I've ever seen in Deus Ex. Like it's dirtier, it's Blade
that means
Runner.
a lot. You love Deus Ex.
I did, I really do. And that was like it feels
like
like
it's
a
more
world
colorful.
it is more colorful, but it's also feels more dangerous.
Deus
It
Ex
just
is very
feels more
yellow,
real.
right? Like this.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pops of pinks and blues and purples, and there's a really cool moment where you're sort of walking like through the main town square, and there's a holographic cherry blossom tree,
Yeah, that was
and there's
dope.
holographic like cherry
petals
blossom
coming off it?
leaves
Yeah,
falling out.
yeah,
It
yeah.
looks
It's really
so
beautiful.
fucking cool. But yeah, it feels like you are in Blade Runner. Now, unfortunately, we only saw the city at day.
Yeah, it's gonna be
time,
nasty
so
at night.
It's gonna
Look,
look so
that
fucking
neon,
rad,
dude.
Mad City, baby.
The lights, everything's beautiful about it. There's a lot of really cool power-ups in the game that are sort of like inhaler drugs that you take.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
so one of them
purple.
lets you slow down time, and it's sort of you perceive time a lot slower than the normal human being. So when preparing for a fight, you might pop one, and like your hand reaches up, and you see a little smoke or whatever.
Nice.
And seeing like 3 people, and you run up to a fight, and then you activate that power, and it's just like. And you see the bullets hitting all the enemies in slow-mo.
That's awesome.
It looks and it feels so satisfying just to see those bullets hit. And then the guy kept doing this really fucking awesome move where he'd be running, he would slow down time, he would slide and shotgun a dude in the knee, and the knee would just blast the fuck off, and the guy's flying, and then he would shoot in the head. Like, the combat just looks so goddamn good.
The one thing that I and again, this is a nitpicky thing for me that I don't like in shooters, I never like, is when you see the hit points. So when you're shooting someone, it's 4,
love
4,
it.
2, 2, 2, 2, 2.
I
I
love
just
it.
don't like that. But for whatever reason, it fits the style of this.
Yeah.
Because of they're embracing the fact that it's going through a mechanical eye. Because
Is it also the calculator numbers?
No,
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think it's like just sort of the font you see
Okay.
in captions and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, the thing I love about the HUD is like it's not sort of a gamified, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, it has purpose, the fact that you are seeing these hit markers and so because it is sort of your augmented eyes that you're like once you eventually get a new optical eyepiece, then you have like the compass up top.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's all that.
I see.
It feels like you're only
There's
seeing
a
that stuff.
reason for this
Yes, it's not just a game HUD.
Gotcha.
It's like
That's
these are your
awesome.
eyes that are
when
modified.
it's like a Dead Space. When they can put that kind of shit in there
Yeah.
and make it make sense, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. I walked away from that just absolutely blown away.
I was ready to play. I was like, I'm ready. I'm in.
God damn.
I know this game's gonna be hours of my life.
The
but I'm
attention to
in.
detail, you can take people down and what
you
they're
can
calling
hack
like
into
you could
them?
jack in or whatever. So you have like this cord in your hand, pop into the back of their head, and you can like sabotage their shit.
So if
You
they
can-
have a group of people, you can hack into their people's guns via their head
Oh, wow.
and like
Yeah.
stop their guns, and then you can come out and blade them.
Yeah, so
fucking
they
cool.
made
That's pretty
made a
cool.
great point of like, yes,
Just
this
small
is
shit like
This
that.
is a first-person shooter. This is not. I think they said in a press release or something. This is a super deep systemed RPG with shooting. This is not a first-person shooter with like some light RPG elements. It's like super deep systems. Fuck this game, man! I can't wait, dude.
That's awesome, dude.
It's unbelievable.
That sounds rad as hell.
Unbelievable.
You want to hear about Dying Light 2, Greg?
Yeah, tell me about Dying Light 2.
It was very interesting. So I played the first one for an hour,
Yeah.
maybe, and it's just like, it wasn't really for me, but I get the appeal of it. I know
Yeah.
you guys all loved it a lot.
Free running
Yeah.
and zombies, why not?
Yeah. Seeing this one today, like we saw a 30-minute demo of it. I didn't get to actually play. I know sometimes we have to tell you the sirens are on our side, not yours. The gunshots are on our side, not yours.
Hopefully.
They're playing Fortnite.
We got to see them play for 30 minutes, and they went through this whole thing. They're talking about how this game takes place 15 years after the last one.
Yeah.
So we're 15 years into the apocalypse.
Okay.
It's in the same universe as the first game.
Okay.
But it's not like a direct sequel. It doesn't like relate
Not
to
same
the
characters,
yeah,
okay.
none of that. Not same location or whatever. There's 3 tenets to the game. One of them is the parkour. One of them is like tactical melee combat. And the third part is the day-night cycle going through. We didn't get to see any of the night. They teased that that's going to be the next thing they kind of go through. But they really went into what they're calling a narrative sandbox, and it sounds super like, all right, video games, right?
Buzzword.
Yeah, let's put a bullet point in the box.
But then they went into it of like what they mean by it, and all of your choices affect the world. Like they really treat the city like a character. And again, it sounds just like so generic for modern video games, but it wasn't just like, oh, this person's going to ask you questions and the way that you answer puts you on this path or this path.
Yeah.
It's also like the missions that you even take, the side quests that you do shape what the world is. An example of that is there was a group of bandits, and you went to them, they were fucking people up, and
As bandits do.
yeah. And you went and you found them, and you kind of
Sometimes they race each other, though.
You have the option if the bandits are asking you to go steal some shit, and if you don't accept that mission, you don't get any of the rewards from that. But then you don't join the bandits.
Gotcha.
And if you do join the bandits, the city turns into this more like, as you'd imagine, like fucked up type of place, and there's chaos everywhere. There's a huge black market for weapons, so you can get these crazy extreme weapons that they were saying we saw in the DLC for the last game.
But at what cost?
But at the cost of, like, you're not making the money to buy the weapons and all that stuff. The flip side of that is if you were to kill the bandits, then there's kind of like a police force starts to come up. So the city's a bit more clean, and the parkour becomes a lot more easy and obvious because there's more setups that are like regimented. It's not just like random ass like
Ramshackle houses.
ramshack shit. It's like, no,
shit.
this is like made to move, so it's easier to move. But you don't get any of the crazy ass weapons because they aren't being sold. And then another example is like there's like water is it's very rare, and people need the water to live. So if the bandits win, the bandits control the water source and sell it, and you make money off of that. So you then get the money to buy the crazy extreme weapons.
Right.
But if you don't help the bandits and the good guys win, water's free for everybody.
You drink pee.
And it heals you.
Jesus.
So if you're having trouble in the environments and stuff, you can move around better because the parkour, but then also you get to heal. So it's like it's this weird shift of like the entire flavor of the game changes based on like offense and defense, or how much you need to hide versus how much you can run away and stuff. And I was like, it seems pretty cool.
That's cool.
Huh.
And I really like the momentum of the parkour. The game looks really beautiful. Like the graphics are great. The city looks really interesting. But I like that it looks real, but it's not afraid to take some liberties when it comes to making the parkour fun. Like, you'll see certain jumps, like, there's no way a human can make that. They don't give a fuck about that. The human's gonna make it. It reminds me a lot of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater levels and how they're laid out, where they're so well designed that things don't need to be flashing yellow for you to know that you can grind on it.
Okay.
You can grind on anything that
makes sense.
That makes sense.
That makes sense to grind it.
And seeing them move around in this, it was like the parkour just makes sense. It's like it's not like Zelda where it's like you can climb anything, but it is like you're never worrying about like Uncharted style. Of like,
Where's the
path
yellow
to go
thing?
up the
Yeah.
It's more like, oh, every single thing, it totally makes sense of where you're trying to go. And the sense of momentum, I was like, this looks really rad.
Did you play a night cycle in the first one?
No.
You were gonna lose your shit
Yeah.
if you play this game. It is terrifying. Terrifying.
Well, that's what's interesting about what they showed for it on the stage, to be fair, right? Where it was really the daytime was just mainly dealing with other humans, man's inhumanity to man, right? And then teasing that, yeah, it's still zombies and creatures at night or
Yeah,
whatever. But now
it's
seeing
terrifying.
that, it was an interesting take of, 15 years into the future of the apocalypse. Thank you, I know it's a good point.
Yeah,
What does it, really look like, and how does that go?
Yeah.
I agree.
I thought it looked really cool. And it reminds me of the type of like Assassin's Creed to Assassin's Creed 2,
Sure.
Uncharted to
Sure.
Uncharted 2.
Refine what
yeah.
people
Yeah,
like out of it.
I really think, because everyone else in the room was like, I was with Brittany from What's Good Games.
Yeah,
and
her.
she seemed super.
That
She
sounds
loves
super
zombies, yeah.
dynamic and cool. That's good for them. I'm glad they made that leap.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Next thing I want to talk about is Lego DC Super
Oh yeah, you were
Villains,
really
right?
into this.
Yeah, it's gonna get one of my Kind of Funny approved awards.
Beautiful.
I meant to give it out earlier. I gave my first Last of Us Part 2. Shocker, I know.
How could you not?
Yeah, I know, right? But yeah, Lego, like, I obviously love Lego games. Full disclosure, I'm in this one as a voice, but I've been in the last few as a voice as well. But, like, you know, even, like, Lego Batman 3, the last DC entry, right? I was like, all right, space, like, I'm not really, you know, a space guy, but I also didn't think the story was that great of why this is happening. Whereas Lego Batman 2, I thought, you know, had something interesting happening. I didn't expect to like this as much. I didn't expect for it to be such an interesting take. I didn't expect it's such a switch up of the formula. Because the game opens, right, with Commissioner Gordon driving a police van out of Gotham into Metropolis and taking Lex Luthor back to Stryker's Island. And going there and talking to him, and they need his help because there's this new villain they need help with. And the villain is you. You create a character in this game that you choose the powers for, you choose the design for, you choose the costume for.
That's fucking cool.
And they're getting admitted into Stryker's Island, but like this new villain, you can steal other people's powers like a Mazo. So like that's how you'll be able to evolve and change what you want to do on the fly as you go. But like, you know, Lex opens his mouth and it's Clancy Brown. And then of course all hell breaks loose, right? And all the people start getting out and it's the Joker and it's Mark Hamill. And then Batman shows up and it's Kevin Conroy. And Wonder Woman shows up and it's Susan Eisberg. Flash shows up, it's friend of the show, Michael Rosenbaum. And it's like, wait, you motherfuckers went and got the animated Justice League cast with Travis Willingham still as Superman back.
And Greg Miller. You're technically canon in this universe.
And I was talking, they're like, yeah. And it's like, holy shit. And then like the crime syndicate, who's calling themselves the Justice Syndicate when they shows up and it's fucking Nolan North as Ultraman. So it's Nolan as Ultraman and Travis as Superman.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it's
That's
like
fucking cool.
The voice acting obviously is great, but like even just the setup of Lex going through the thing, I was like, and then playing through it, I was like, this feels like an animated episode. Like it feels like such a step up from what the game was before, let alone the fact that I made the character look just like me. Like I have a little card I'm gonna try to get images off of. So like it just looks, I'm like, this is like, you've never made a character in one of these Lego games before to go through and play, right?
That's cool.
And so it's like, wow, I wasn't expecting to be this into it, even though I'm always into Lego games and I'm super into DC games.
Are you able to name your character?
Yeah. You put a name on it, they don't say it or
Right,
anything. They
okay.
call you, Lex kept
villain.
calling me Rookie.
Oh, okay.
Because he's like, you know, breaks everybody out, puts on his suit, Mercy shows up, and like, fuck yeah, all right, I'm all in. Like,
That's
you
awesome.
know, that's great. Yeah.
That's really awesome.
Anthem, bro.
I played Anthem a little while ago.
Tell me about Anthem.
So you start off as a ranger, which is what they made it seem like sort of the all-around guy, right? And I can already tell that they've put a lot of work into writing and developing the characters in the cutscenes.
Yeah.
The characters in the world. And so that was already like, all right, one of the main worries out the door, right? The main worry's been like, is this going to be a viable single-player narrative type game?
Sure.
Like, am I going to care enough, or has all the work been put into multiplayer?
Yeah.
And not really thought about, like, and is the narrative just sort of like this thing that's just tacked on?
Like Titanfall 1.
Yeah.
Flat.
But the characters in your little ship, I forgot the name of the sort of home base, but they're full of life and they're well written so far, and they look awesome, and I can't wait to get to know them more.
Did it live up to your expectations, the game? Because you're super into what the idea of Anthem.
Yeah, absolutely. So then you get in your little suit, and the people there sort of run you through how to play the game.
Yeah.
The flying, it took like 30 seconds to get used to, and then immediately it's like, all right, I know how to do this. A is jump, and then you can double jump or whatever.
Yeah.
But you click in the left stick to just fly forward. You hit B to barrel roll. You click in the right stick to just hover. So you can constantly now you do have an overheating thing, but a cool way to sort of combat that is that there are waterfalls in the world that will cool down your thrusters. So when you see the little bar getting to overheat, hopefully you're near a waterfall, or you can just slowly go down or whatever. But the maneuvering, the gunplay feels so goddamn good, man. Like the sound design, the way the weapons feel, seeing all these enemies, the sort of that Destiny feeling of seeing your hit markers, seeing that one crit, that feels really good. It was me, another guy, and then 2 BioWare employees who were sort of running us through the demo. So it was 4 of us in a little squad, and the monsters are cool to fight. There's sort of your archetypes of like, oh, the little grunts, and this guy has a giant shield. How are you gonna fight him? You have really cool like
You go around, shoot him in the back in the little hole.
Oh, absolutely! Yeah, shoot him in that fucking Halo. It's a Halo reference right there. You have this really cool AO. I'm sure there's going to be tons of weapons, but we were equipped with an AOE ice grenade that you just sort of, and as you're holding it to release it to throw it, you see like the area that you're going to drop it in. Toss it, it fucking has a big explosion. You can line up combos. The combat just felt super satisfying. The flying felt incredible. Like I caught myself just like smiling because I was so happy to be playing this game. And I gotta say, really sure, I just can't wait for this game. I know that like the demo that they showed at E3 was awkward and weird, and it was kind of weirdly paced. It felt off. Like, despite the cool stuff they had showed before, the second one where they actually showed gameplay felt kind of weird. I am just so in now after playing this game. It's going to be so much fun flying around. You feel like a goddamn superhero, man. Like, just... Does
it feel like Iron Man?
Yes. It feels just so goddamn good. You have like a mid-air sort of dodge as well, where the coolest thing is like seeing enemies run. You also have the ultimate moves too. You can hold in both of the bumpers, and a big reticle pops up, and you just like target as many enemies as you can. Tons of grenades, just like that. Wow. Grenades, yeah.
That was
exactly.
Beautifully timed.
Really, really good.
I'm so tired. I thought your hands were actually making that sound.
Exactly, you're like War Machine. Yeah, you're like all these little, like this rain of grenades fly out.
That's awesome.
But it's just so cool flying, and you're flying really fast, and it feels great to see everything zooming by you. Then you see a pack of enemies, you click in the right stick, and you're hovering now, and you're shooting, and then you can hold in the right bumper and just shoot like a concussive sort of blast. Maybe I want to dodge, barrel roll, I want to keep flying, I'll drop down. Cool melee attacks. It's just like, dude, this fucking game, dude. Yeah. It's getting one of my game of the show. It's
nice.
In that or Cyberpunk. I can't decide right now.
We have multiple.
It's definitely getting one of my face guys.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you mean game of the show?
Well, we have one game of show, yeah.
100%. Yeah. It's definitely getting one of my face things.
Okay.
So yes.
I want to talk about Spider-Man.
Yeah, I was gonna say that game of the show is probably gonna go to Spider-Man.
Because speaking of mobility and like feeling like a superhero,
my God.
oh my God, dude, swinging in Spider-Man. I know it's obvious just by looking at it, but playing it like
it puts it on another level though.
You get that feeling in your stomach when you're going, like it's just so tight.
I know.
Once you let it go at the pinnacle, the apex, the pinnacle, the what else, Greg? The
hypotenuse.
The mountain's top.
Once you just let it go, and then you just see yourself sort of flying and dropping down. God, I was telling Tim, it reminds me of when you're playing GTA, and it's just like, I'm just gonna drive the fuck down this road, dude. I had this car, and it's just like,
get it.
The world is at my fingertips. I'm just gonna like swerve through this whole damn thing. That's how it felt like flying in Spider-Man.
I was talking to Joey, and she said something that I was just like, oh my God, that is exactly it. Swinging as Spider-Man feels exactly as good as in God of War throwing the axe.
Oh, sure.
Like just how rewarding and just like, fuck, man, video games shouldn't be able to make me feel this way, but they do.
Yeah.
The animations are just so fluid. Like, I love seeing him swing through, and like there's certain times where he'll turn around and kind of face the camera, and it's just like, it's unreal.
It's stunning, and it makes me want to jump in, and it makes me want to get really good at all the mechanics, and it makes me want to fucking master the fighting. Like, all that stuff brought me right back to the first time I picked up Arkham Asylum and was like, wait a minute, this is, I feel like I'm this character. You really do feel like you're Spider-Man. That's like the top mark you can possibly give a game.
And you were saying about feeling powerful and shit. Say it.
I gotta say.
No, you feel powerful. Like, you feel like a Spider-Man that's 8 years into the whole thing. It's like every single thing, like all the
his
moves
gadgets,
that you do,
right?
the gadgets, the spider bombs and stuff, and being able to switch between the weapons. Like,
you feel like
you
a
can
veteran
button mash
superhero
and feel like a badass, or you can know exactly what you're doing, and I'm sure that feels even better. Like,
but
it's so fucking cool. There's an ultimate move you can do where you hit both of the triggers at the same time, and like he just fucking shoots web everywhere. So cool.
Is that the one that we saw in the?
I accidentally triggered it on no one, and I felt awesome doing it. I was like, oops, I don't know how I did that, but I did it. Shout out to the Spidey Sense also, which is your dodge.
Yeah.
It's your indicator for dodge, which I
And
was
the
like,
dodge looks so cool.
great use of that.
Going into
honestly.
people's legs, so dope.
Yeah, it's there's going up people's legs, kicking people up into the air, all that stuff just feels right. It's good.
And you
Fantastic.
did the boss fight against
I did
Shocker.
the boss fight surprisingly hard. I'm not going to say Joey was breathing over my shoulder the entire time, but she put undue pressure on me. No, it's hard, but it's fun, and I definitely wanted to keep going. Although the demo ran out for me, but give me one more try, I would have had him. But they're not holding your hand on that one for sure, which is good.
Yeah.
And nor are they holding your hand on all these systems. Like it's going to take you maybe a few hours to really get comfortable with everything you can do with Spidey, and that's awesome. That's what I want.
Have you played Spider-Man yet?
Real quick, I did some swinging stuff. Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Shot the web.
So
fought some
tight.
people,
So
yeah.
fucking tight.
Yeah.
What else? What
Division
have you
2.
done? Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Division 2
You were
getting
looking
another
forward to
one.
this.
Wow.
Again, full disclosure, I hosted their panel or whatever, so we were partnered on that. But that doesn't influence this. I'm a huge Division fan, period. And I've talked a lot about the Division when it was the live shows we were doing before for the conferences. Then today hosted the panel. I got to talk to Julian and Mateus. And it was like sit down and play it. It was like, fuck, this is as good as I was hoping it would be.
Awesome.
And just the little changes they've done. It's still very much the Division I knew from back in the day, but like, like you have an armor bar now and your health bar, and like when the armor goes down, like if you take shots after that, you're fucked. Like it was like I was running around and I was playing like the old Division a bit, where I'm just running up and I was like getting knocked down and then having to hit it, stop bleeding or whatever. But then like once you understood that mechanic, once the armor's taken away, if you still have full health, you can use a health pack to bring your armor back up. The shooting feels so good. Like and one of the things I talked to the guys about, the developers, was in Manhattan, right, in Division, the original Division, it is such a grid of like, all right, streets, this, you all felt the same, you do an extent, and like you go to different areas, sure, but like we played the demo you saw, right, of through the museum, not with the shoot the thing to get it down, but through the museum, engage with some guys, come out, engage with some guys, then make your way to the plane and fight the heavy, take out waves and take out another heavy. Getting both to, I think, the first area where we went into the museum, it was like you can go straight through the doors, or there was a path up some crates to this way through a broken out window, where then we'd have like the advantage from up top on the second floor, or you could come down and sneak in there. And then getting to the plane, it was very much the first time we did it twice. We came in, and it was me and 3 other people. We came in all together very Division-y from one area and then kind of stayed together, which led to us getting killed one time because it was, we're all just getting mowed down. We didn't understand how, you're not weaker this time around, we just understand the mechanics a bit more. The second time we did it, it was very much that they came in one way, I went and flanked the other. And so now the AI on the fly had to figure out who's they're engaging and why. So, and it was, you could still suppress people like you could in Division 1, but I did see like 2 dudes break off from that thing to take care of me or fight me and do all these different things. And then it was using, the new abilities and specials or whatever. Of like, I was playing they started us with the specialists. So like, when you hit level 30, you then start building into these specialties. I was playing as the demolition expert heavy. So I had a shotgun, and then this giant weapon was a grenade launcher, and then I had an automated rifle or whatever. We were running through doing our thing, and then my special was this thing called the Hive that you toss out, very much like my turret that I love so much in Division 1. Toss it out, and then it's got an AoE that if enemies walk in, it basically shoots these things out that go to the enemies and hit them in the weak point. Like it knows how to seek out their weak points.
Cool.
And so like when we were engaging the heavy dude you saw in the trailer, like tossing it out and having them go straight to it. There was a bunch of like nerdy stuff of just like jumping out of the thing and walking through the grass, and like the way the grass falls down, like you looked it back and you can see the track you took and shit like that. The game's beautiful. It feels responsive and sweet, and like it's that thing of I don't consider myself good at any shooter, let alone definitely not first person, but like in Division I felt enough where I felt like I played enough where I felt good, and to jump in here and have it immediately feel good again, right?
Yeah.
Get, like you're talking about, getting headshots, seeing the 250 pop, like getting that XP start dropping and feeling in the meter again. It was like, God, it just got me so excited to again get back next week, and me and Kevin go back and start getting shields and stuff and play everybody through it again. Like I'm so ready for that game.
I'm really bummed that, like, obviously I played Anthem, I'm so stoked, but I really wanted to play with you in that, like, co-op demo or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was kind of bummed out about that, because I knew that it was going to play and feel good, and I wanted to experience
so
that with
good.
you, Greg?
You're gonna experience more Division 1 when we get home, so
Okay.
you'll be there. We'll be all set, get our shields, be ready for Division 2.
So there's a React video up on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames for my impressions on Spyro and Crash. So go watch those
Sure.
if you want to hear about that stuff. And what was the other one? Oh, Concrete Genie. Cool Greg played it. It's his definite game of the show.
Cool Greg's
I
game
don't
of
think
the
I've
show?
ever seen him happier playing
He
the
played it
video.
the entire time.
Dude,
And
for like an hour, and he was so in.
And my boy Brent over there was the one giving him the demo or whatever, and I saw him just hanging out, asking, answering questions and shit. Yeah, Cool Greg was saying, I didn't play it, but he's like, he was blown away that you could tag on anything.
Yeah.
Because even watching it, I was like, oh, it's very specific, I guess, where you can tag or whatever. No, you're all over.
Yeah, check that out. That was a fun Reacts. And then did you guys do any other Reacts you want to pimp?
I played Rage 2.
I did Hitman 2.
So check those out as well.
I don't know if mine are up. I did Ghost of Tsushima and Control,
Cool.
the new Remedy game. Those
Go
are
watch
up
the
yet.
Control one, because I was next to Greg while he's talking about it.
If any of these aren't up, they'll be up later
They'll be up
today
tomorrow.
when you're watching this. And I guess the last game I want to talk about is Resident Evil 2 Remake.
Yes.
Got to play 20 minutes of it. There was also a Reacts up there, but man, it's perfect. It's exactly what I want it to be. Like, it's not fully modernized. It's still survival horror, but it's not tank controls.
Okay, good. That's my concern.
Yeah.
But it doesn't quite feel like Resident Evil 4 exactly. It
Okay.
looks like Resident Evil 4.
Okay.
But because the levels are still kind of like tight corridors, like they really slow you down. And if you have the option to click in the left stick and sprint, but you start to like bump into things a bit. But it really adds to the kind of claustrophobic like survival horror feel. And man, I haven't been that scared from besides Resident Evil 7 had its moments for sure.
Sure.
And the first person like really added to it, but Resident Evil 2 scared me. Like the zombies coming out, I was like, this is awesome.
You haven't been that scared since Resident Evil 6, and you're like, I don't know if this franchise is gonna make it. I'm terrified.
No, but seriously, like those moments, I was like, fuck, like I'm getting an emotional response from zombies. Like that
Yeah.
says something, right?
Yeah.
And just seeing Leon be this fucking young kid again, and like it's so nostalgic, and it reminds me very much of Shadow of the Colossus remake that just came out, where it's like, oh, this looks how it was in my head when I first played it.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know? I had a great time with it. I can't believe it's coming out so soon. It feels very finished. And I had a really great time with it. I thought 20 minutes was like a great demo. It was very early in the game, and like it's really going to be good. I was worried that the over the shoulder, like being able to aim, was going to simplify it too much. They've added more zombies and they made them a little bit faster. And there's a reticle, but the moment that you like aim down sights on it, like the reticle gets really big and like it starts to move a little bit. But it feels right.
Okay.
It feels
Okay.
like you're scared and you're trying. And like, so it's kind of working against you. And I was like, I've never really felt that mechanic somewhere, and it worked. It definitely
Okay.
worked, and I liked it. And if you stop and stay still, and you hold for a second, then it comes back down. So you can kind of wait and see if their heads go, then you can shoot it. I'm like, this is a great way to handle the tension without twin snaking it. You know what I mean? Where in Metal Gear Solid, like,
Sure.
adding first person
bam,
made
bam.
the game super easy.
Yeah,
It like nerfed boss fights totally.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like this isn't going to do that, but man, I had a great time. I'm having a hard time deciding what I'm going to give my awards to, but Resident Evil 2 is a forerunner right now for me.
Oh, wow, okay.
Is there any other games that you guys have to talk about?
No?
I think we covered it. The reacts that'll go up Thursday, I think, cover most of it.
Elder Scrolls Blades.
Oh, yeah, where are we coming now with them blades there, dude?
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching this Kind of Funny Gamescast. Thank you for watching all of our E3 content. Depending on when you're watching this, Thursday at 2:40 p.m. we're going live on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames for a whole bunch of live show stuff. Is that
Yeah.
all correct information?
240?
Yeah.
GameSpot.com?
Yeah?
Yeah, we'll host it on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames.
Yeah, there
It'll go
you
up
go.
on Friday. We'll do the breakouts on Friday, right? That's the plan, Kevin? Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. The breakouts on YouTube
Yep.
that you're recording.
Yeah.
Don't
That's all I'm
fly.
gonna have.
He's
Fuck
thumbs
it.
up in.
He's going to get thrown over the goddamn
I just want to play more
balcony.
Smash Bros, guys.
Yeah.
Until then,
I enjoyed it, but I can wait. I need to learn. I need to
hate
learn.
you.
I can't wait for the division. That's why we're back together. Shake and bake.
shake and bake.
You're bake, I'm shake, he's Ian.
Bye.